Let's make some blood red vegan beet and bean stew. So first, before you start cooking, like at least an hour and a half before, if you're using dry beans, you want to wash and start boiling them. I add a teaspoon of salt into the beans when I'm boiling them. If you're using canned beans, then you don't have to pre-boil, you just dump the canned beans at the end with the vegetables and stuff. So for the base of the stew, I use caramelized onions. So I will dice the onions and then caramelize them on low, and while the onions are caramelizing, I'll cut up all the rest of the vegetables because I have a lot of vegetables, and then also stir occasionally to make sure they don't burn. I'm also using a 6-quart cast iron Dutch oven, which retains heat very well, and it's really big. It's a perfect size for a really large stew. I like to make stews like this once a week, and then I have a lot of leftovers for the rest of the week. I can also, sometimes I've actually made like a dough and then put the filling, if it solidifies enough, into the dough, and then I'll grill it or bake it, and then I'll have these little hand pies with stew in it if I don't want to have just reheated stew. There's fun things to do with leftover food. But anyways, back to the stew. The vegetables I chose are, other than the beets and the can of tomato, I used 2 beets with the greens. The greens are edible and they taste kind of strong, but I noticed when vegetables are cooked with tomato, like diced tomato, or just any tomato, I use canned tomato because of pricing and availability. A lot of the strong flavors are hidden by the tomato. And so it's 2 beets with their greens, then 4 carrots, 4 sticks of celery. Then you can add more greens if you want, but since I have beet greens, I just have it like that. And then also half a wad of parsley, which adds a really nice flavor. And the spices I chose, and the dry seasoning paste is, I used 2 serrano chili peppers because I happen to have a lot of serrano chili peppers. It's in the recipe because that's what I had, and you don't have to put serrano chili peppers. I actually recommend you try it out with a teaspoon of crushed red chili flakes, so then you can really taste the flavor of the stew without too much spice. Just a teaspoon in a giant 6-quart pot of stew will add a nice flavor without making it really spicy. Depending on your spice tolerance, if you can't handle spice tolerance at all, then I would recommend maybe like a little speck of cayenne pepper, like a tiny little bit, and no crushed red chili peppers. But I wanted my stew spicy, so there's 2 serrano chili peppers, and I actually put a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1 teaspoon of paprika. Paprika is nice, so definitely put that in. Then I have like between 7 to 9 cloves of garlic, because garlic makes things taste great. And also 1 teaspoon of pepper and 1 teaspoon of salt. Also, the beans are being boiled in 1 teaspoon of salt, and I'm adding 1 teaspoon into the stew mix. So in the end, there's going to be 2 teaspoons of salt total, and it actually worked out really well. The flavoring was perfect, and I didn't have to add any extra salt at the end because the rest of the vegetables brought in a lot of flavor. So here you see me peeling the garlic. So after the onions have caramelized and all the vegetables have been cut, I'll dump the garlic and all the dry seasonings in there and start stir frying it for a couple seconds, maybe 30 seconds or something, till when I can really smell the garlic. I didn't use herbs this time because I didn't want the soup to taste very herbal. Herbs are nice, like basil and oregano. I put oregano in a lot of my stews, but this time I wanted this to taste like vegetables and spice and beets and tomato, and not like herb pasta. Thank you for watching my video. Like and subscribe to see more of them. And also, if you make this stew, let me know how it turned out. And also, you can let me know if you have any comments or questions.